morning. Morning, Charlene. Morning, Veronica, Karen, Lynn. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Barbara, Lorraine. Yes, we're back. Thank goodness for that. Right, shall we get stuck in? Because I want to talk to you about this product because it's blinking brilliant. So, when Stephanie and Diane went to Frankfurt, and Carl, can't leave Carl out, they all went to Frankfurt and they found this amazing Italian company called Sospeso Trasparente, and it's a lovely lady called Monica Allegro. As Stephanie would describe her, she fits in well with us because she's mad as a box of rocks. So that was a good start. Didn't speak a word of English, but we managed to get to a stage where we brought you her amazing product. Now, this product is fabulous. You'll have seen something similar many years ago, but you know how things move on and they get better, a bit like technology when it works. This is very similar to that. So you're going to get these transparent sheets and you're either going to fussy cut them out with a pair of scissors, which is super easy to do. Don't think just because it's on a plastic sheet it's going to be hard to cut, because they're not. They're super easy. Or you can use your scan and cut to cut them out. Now, I showed you last Tuesday on every single show how to do that. I have got scan and cut shows tomorrow, so if we need to, we can show you that as well. But it's super easy to cut out. I actually, the first round, I just sat there on my tray on my lap at night cutting everything out. It's quite therapeutic, I find. So the way this works is you then heat these and they mould. So I'm going to do a quick demo now, and then I'm going to take you down the counter and show you all the goodies we've got for you. So I'm going to start with one of the more, it's not tricky, you just have a few more steps with this one. There isn't really much of a learning curve, I'm not going to lie, because it's super easy to do. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip into these petals a little bit, and if you look there, I've got like this little nick there now, which doesn't look quite right, so just snip it away so it looks like there was always a cut in there, and that will just give you a little bit more shape to it. Okay, and then you've got options. You can either work over a tea light, which is what I'm going to do, or you can use a heat gun. Now, if you're going to use a heat gun, you need to have a heat gun that's got a stand on it, because by the time you've picked this up, you've got your heat gun in your other hand getting warm, you've warmed it, you switch the heat gun off, you put it down, and then you go to mould it and it's gone rigid again. So we need to work a little bit better than that. So if you've got a heat gun with a stand on, you can keep it running. I'm quite happy using a tea light because I love a tea light, I love a candle anyway, but I just find it easier to do. And it's super easy to work with once you get your tea light lit. There you go. Sometimes they just take a few seconds, don't they? So, pair of reverse tweezers, or whichever tweezers you've got, and I like to hold the transparency firmly in those tweezers. And then all you're going to do is take the plastic over the heat, okay, and just let it start to mold. And then you go in with the embossing ball tools and you literally mold it into shape. Now, if you're not happy with the shape initially, you can go back in and redo it, and we're just going to put a little bit more of a shape into the edge of that, and then a little bit more of a shape, because when you look at irises, they're quite crinkly, aren't they, around the edges? A bit like me, a bit wrinkly around the edges. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more into there. Right, so I've now got that one moulded. I'm now going to hold that firmly, and I'm going to go back in over this petal here. So we're just gently going to push in, and it can be as much or as little shape as you like. It's entirely up to you. It's your flower. You make it look how you want it to look, but it's super easy to do. You can see you can turn it backwards or forwards, and then you can reheat if you're not happy. Now, when I come to this one, I'm going to hold the two that I've already done. I'm going to get that leaf out of the way, and I'm just going to concentrate on these petals because I think they're absolutely beautiful. You can also pull them up a little bit like this, so they are quite pliable even as the heat dissipates. But I'm just going to get this little bit here, so we're going to go over there like so. We're going to go in here and we're going to mold that down, and then we're going to hit that leaf. Now, I want to keep this stem straight, so to do that, I'm holding with my tweezers the bits where I've already been, and I'm going to get that leaf just in there. Now, we're all grown up, so you can make your decision as to whether you use a heat tool or whether you use a candle. It's entirely up to you, but you can see there that had already gone rigid again. So I need to go back in and just reheat that a little bit, okay? So we're all aware that a candle's hot. You need to be careful. So please do, but it's a fabulous, fabulous thing to do. Now look how lovely that looks. So we've got the stem that's still straight, and then we've got a lovely orchid, and I'm just going to bend that leaf over a little bit so that it sits flat. How fabulous is that? So that's what Sospeso Trasparente is all about, okay? And it's super, super easy to do. You don't need to be a florist. You don't need to be able to draw or mold clay or anything like that. Literally, you cut them out, you heat them, you mold them. It couldn't be any simpler. Right, let's go through what you can purchase then, because we've got some lovely selections. Now, the first two only launched, I'm going to say, a couple of weeks ago. Lost track of time, I've no idea, but it's not much longer than that. So Shop Camp is going to get you 4 of these transparent sheets for $35.99. So you're getting 9 of your Passiflora flowers, which are beautiful, and I've got a lovely picture frame that this would work with. Then you're also going to get your lovely iris, which is the one that we've just done. So you're going to get the iris in there, and you've got these other parts so you can build up more fantasy flowers as well if you'd like. Then we've also got a sheet of butterflies. These look beautiful. In fact, let me just bring in the lid off this. Look how lovely that is on there. And this was a little £4.50 trinket box from Tesco. Literally, change it up. You'd sell that now for what, $12.99 easily, just by adding a couple of few little butterflies on there. And then last but by no means least, you're also going to get your Campanella, which is this beautiful soft floral. I love the moths in this, and the bees and the butterflies and the dragonflies. They're super, super, super pretty. So all 4 of those, Shop Camp, $35.99. Now the next one you're going to get is Shop Nigella. This is one of my favourites. Look how beautiful that is. So you're getting the orchids again, but in a different colourway, which I think is really pretty. I also love the fact that you've got the yellow leaves in here, which matches with the centres of the orchid, so it all works together. A really beautiful array of butterflies on there as well. Then you're going to get these, which are your Easter party. These are a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of fun. These are really, really, really cool. So if I just bring in this vase, for example, these are those just round the edge of a regular box standard vase. Didn't cost very much, £3-4 I think. And then you've got your little flowers around. It's a lovely way to make a gift. Then you're also going to get your Nigella, and these are lovely. I love the stems in this one. I think they're super, super pretty. And then you're going to get a smaller sheet with your mini flowers, and these are great as your fillers. So you're getting your large sheets, but then you're also getting your little ones as well. And I'll tell you now, it's surprising how far these go, because you don't need a lot. So for example, on this one, we've just used a few of the flowers and a couple of leaves. We've got a little jar, and we've put some reeds in with some perfume. And how lovely is that? These as a gift would be fabulous. You make a box for that. Tell you get a pretty penny for that. Right, so that is your Shop Nigella. Now we're going through the ones that we've already brought you previously. Oh, my little dragonfly's dropped off. I have to pop him back on. Right, so Shop Colour next is going to get you these beautiful orchids. I mean, they're just spectacular. These colours are sensational, and it's really going to bring that pop of colour into your home from the outside inside. And I love an orchid because you don't really need to look after them very much, do you? It's a little spray of a mist of water now and again. They're very, very hardy. And then you've also got your mini flowers in purple in this one, so that works perfectly together. That's Shop Colour, $14.99. Then we've got Shop Jasmine, where you're going to get this lovely soft pink in your mini flowers with some of the branches and the butterflies, so you can create your own little cherry blossom branch with these. These are going to look absolutely fabulous. And then you're also going to get your jasmine in this one too. And I love these leaves because even if you don't want to use them as stems, you can snip into them, which is really cool. So that's those two, Shop Jasmine, $14.99. Then we've got Shop Royal. Now when you're Royal, you're going to get your white orchids. So if you've got more of a neutral home, this will be lovely for you, just adding in that little pop of colour of pink here and there. And then you're also going to get the royal blue, which I have to say is more like a cornflower blue or a lilac or a lavender. They're very, very pretty colours. So Shop Orchid is going to get you those two for £17.99. Sorry, Shop Royal is going to get you those two for £14.99. I know, it's Monday, isn't it? And then your next one is Shop Orchid. And this is going to get you your little hellebore and your coloured orchids. So you're going to get those again. And the reason we've put these in is twice is because they're so pretty. And we wanted to give you that colour. And look how beautifully those two work together. Fabulous, aren't they? So Shop Orchid is going to get you that for £17.99. And Shop Geranium is going to get you geranium flowers in that lovely rich red, but with that pop of pink coming through in the centres. And then also your hellebore. Okay, so super, super, super easy to do. That's Shop Geranium, £17.99. And when you break these down, once you've cut them all out and you've moulded them, you've got a lot of flowers. So you then break them down and you just use 2 or 3 on a project and then 2 or 3 on the top of a box or some round a picture frame or even on a brooch or a necklace, a piece of jewellery. They'd look amazing. Right, now then, she also brings you tools, and these are absolutely fabulous. So you're getting this moulding mat that is just the right consistency. So first of all, when plastic's melted, it can become really sticky. This allows it to not stick to the mat, which is really, really important. It's 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres, so you've got a 6-inch square. It's really easy to mould. It's the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter which one you use. And then you're also going to get the embossing tools. Now there's 2 tools, but you've got 2 different size ball tools on either end. And I love the fact that they're branded as well. It makes it feel a bit more special, doesn't it? Also, these aren't metal. You'll notice these are wood because A, they don't stick, and B, they don't transfer that heat. So they're perfect for your moulding. They're not going to stick to that plastic. So if you want the correct tools, ooh, way up, starting already with my post-it notes. Shop Film. $39.99. No, Shop Emboss. Well, I'm one ahead, aren't I? I think I'm on Tuesday already. Come back to Monday, Melanie. Shop Emboss, $17.99. Now then, this is exciting. It doesn't look very exciting, but it is. So you're going to get 4 transparent and 4 white of these film. Now then, what you can do with these is all that digital library that we've been building with you over the last few months and weeks, all those Minecraft Studio flowers that you've got are now going to work perfectly with this, because you can print off your own artwork and then put it onto the transparency and make it mouldable, which is really exciting. Now you don't print directly on it, you have to print onto something and then attach that with the glue that you're going to get with it. So my recommendation is either a napkin or our rice paper. I've tried copy paper, I tried a thicker paper, I tried a thinner paper, I tried the thinnest copy paper you could possibly find, and the rice paper worked better. If the copy paper had worked better, I'd be telling you, but the rice paper works better. It has less rigidity to it, it's more flexible. So that's why when you start to curl it and heat it, you have to heat it a little bit longer, but it then starts to bend. Tried it with copy paper, didn't give me much shape at all. So there's too much structure in it. So what we're going to do is show you how to use the clear one, and then the white one, literally print off your rice paper, glue on the top of it, rice paper on top, job done. I'll show you how to do the transparent one when we get back over to demo, but it's super, super easy. So you're going to get 4 of the transparent, 4 of the white, and the bottle of glue. And you don't use a lot of this glue. I use it with our cut and use foam, which is perfect for that. So if you want that, if you want to be able to do your own, which is really cool, right? Shop Film, $39.99 is going to get you 8 sheets and your glue. So now you're in control of what you put on, which is very exciting. Right, next one, gel. Now then, I'm just going to grab this sample from over here. So this is what happens when you put the gel in the middle. So it's like a resin. It's a acrylic resin gel. It's glossy and it's super clear. So I'll show you, talk to you about these little crystals in a minute, but all you do is literally put a little drop in the bottom and then drop your crystal glass on top of it. If you want to colour it, I would recommend alcohol inks. So we've been bringing you some little round jars recently, little tubs that you could put these in, a couple of drops of alcohol ink there, give it a shake, and that will colour the centres for you. But how pretty does that look? I mean, that as a piece of jewellery would look lovely, wouldn't it? You put some leaves on, another little flower, a butterfly. You can wear this art, which is super exciting. So if you want the gel, it's $12.99 shop gel. If you want the crystal, which you can see more clearly in there, so it's crystal, ground crystal glass, but it's not sharp. Believe you me, it's not sharp, because I put my fingers in there, I've pressed into it, all the rest of it didn't cut, because I want to make sure that it's right for you guys at home. So if you want your crystals to really enhance it, shop crystals, $6.99. Now then, we're going to talk about these boxes, because these are brilliant for your storage. Okay, I have some of mine in these now, so you're going to get 5 of these. It's shop box and then $19.99, so they come flat packed to you. What I would recommend you do, because these are all scored for you, is put a ruler up against these lines and then fold up to the ruler. It just gives you a little bit, it just makes it a little bit easier, because this is super thick. Now, this isn't just about storing your flowers. This is storing your dies, storing your papers, storing your rice papers, storing your stencils, storing your stamps, anything that you want to store in a transparent folder. This is going to be brilliant for that. So I have some with my with my sheets in, and then I also have some where I've made the flowers. Quarter of the stock of these is now allocated and in people's baskets. It's a brilliant way of storing them, because you can put your made flowers in there as well if that's what you want to do. So that one is shop box. $19.99 is going to get you £4 each. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? Right, now then, glue gun. This glue gun is by far the best glue gun that I have used. I'm just going to grab mine from over here. I'm going to say 36 years of doing something creative. And there's a few reasons. First of all, it's cordless, which is brilliant. So you get your little cord and you just recharge it there with a USB plug. You've then got a proper stand. So when I stand that up, that's sturdy, that's not going anywhere. The worst thing you can do with a glue gun is that, because it'll continue to melt, but it'll melt the glue inside, which isn't good. Also has an on-off switch here, so when you're not using it, you can turn it off. You don't need to keep getting on your hands and knees to unplug it. And it also comes with 3 of the little sticks, but today we're also adding in 50 of the glue sticks. Now, the best thing for me about this is, first of all, the accuracy of the nozzle. 75% of this storage is now in people's baskets. Well done if you're getting that. So first things first, it has a very small nozzle, okay? So it's accurate. So if I just push that through, I need another glue stick in there, I can see. Oh, there we go. Didn't want to do that, but never mind. Also, you can see, don't do that, please, at home, but it doesn't burn. And it does, well, if you drop it on your hand, it's going to hurt. But unlike a regular plug-in glue gun, because it holds just the right temperature to melt the glue, it doesn't drip. And that's a brilliant thing. The other thing is it doesn't burn the glue. So when you look at normal glue guns, I'll stick that back over there. If I'd used a normal glue gun on this vase here, you would see all the yellow. It looks nicotine stained, doesn't it? It looks like a bad pub in the 60s when you had all that nicotine stained wallpaper, right? I know. But look at this. It's white. It's absolutely fabulous. It does not burn that glue. You don't get any smell from it because it's not burning glue. It's just melting it to the right temperature for you to then be able to use it. It's brilliant. Cannot recommend this highly enough. Shop glue, $29.99. Then you've got your club discount. Then you're going to add your points. Get that basket to over £35 and you get free shipping. Now there's a little trick. If you go on to highlightcrafts.com and go onto the live shopping page, so where you would normally watch us if you watch us on our website, there's a button on there that says schedule. You're going to click on that, and then there's another one that says view all deals or view today's deals, and you can look at every deal and every product and every show that we've got for you this bank holiday Monday, and then you can add those to your basket and then check out. Just make sure that you are checking out though, because somebody else can come along and take it out of that basket. So if somebody's gone out for the day today and they come back at 7 o'clock tonight, they decide to watch some of the repeats we're putting in, and it's still in your basket, it still shows on our system as available. So make sure that you are checking out those baskets, please. I don't want any of you to miss out. Right, shop rice next. So this is our rice paper. This is the one that David tested to within an inch of its life and said, yes, this was the one that he was happy with. So 20 sheets of this for $12.99 shop rice. And as I spoke to you about earlier, you can use those on your transparencies. I'll show you that literally in a minute. And then we've also got some jars. Now these are lovely to work on because they're not too big, so they don't overwhelm you as a project if you're trying this for the first time. Give them a good wash inside. They come with this lovely cork lid. And what I did with mine was took one of them, took it outside and sprayed the mirror spray inside. So you've got your mirror on the inside. Then I used some of the Mixi-On glue from Cadence and just literally brushed it up from the bottom up, and then used a sheet of our gold foil, gold leaf. And then even the lid, a gold leafed as well. But look how beautiful that is. So you go from that to that in not very long at all. Now the difference, I mean, they would sell easily all day, every day, $19.99. Put some bath salts in them. Honestly, absolutely fabulous. I love these glass jars because they give you a project. And it's all right sitting there cutting all the flowers out, making them up, but you want to do something with them, don't you? So shop jar is going to get you 2 of the large ones, 2 of the medium ones for $17.99. You've got £11.97 saving on that. Right, shall we go and do some more flowers? Yours. That was a yours from Hannah. I'm just going to pop my little dragonfly back on. I'm going to say if I was doing it on something like this normally, I would probably use Pin Flare glue gel, or a gel that will dry over, you know, and not come off. So probably Pin Flare, something like that would do. John, I know John does one as well, doesn't he? John next door. Right, let's have a look at some of these flowers then, shall we? And let's start to play around. Let's have a go at the Campanella. I haven't done one of these yet, so we'll do it together, which is really cool. Do we have a code yet, Hannah, for the giveaway, please?
We don't, but I can make one.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's do Monday. Bear with, and we'll let you know when it's ready. Right, so to do this, now it's always good when I haven't done one of these before because you'll see the thought process. So I've got that, and that cuts right into there, which I'm happy about. This one, I'm just going to cut a little bit further in. Okay, so I'm just going to take that down a little bit. And again, just trim away. I mean, it's a smidgen of a thing. If it doesn't bother you, then fine. But I know what I'm like. It's got to be right. If I'm going to do it, it's got to be right. I know I drive everybody mad, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm just going to tidy that petal up because I've now created another place where we can go into. And then I'm also going to do the same about there. And you don't have to do this. The flowers are beautiful as they are, but I like it. I like it. That's it. Right, so we're going to hold this in the middle and we'll do one of the petals at a time. So I'm going to go for my medium ball tools this time. And there is use for all of them. And you'll see that this petal here just start to bend, and then all you're going to do is press that down. I mean, there really is no skill required, and I know you've all got skill because I see you work on our Facebook pages, but you don't need it for this. You can literally, if you've lost your mojo, if your crafty mojo has gone for a walk down the road, this is going to be brilliant because you can make stuff, you get a really, really good result really quickly, and it also means that you're doing something creative, so it's filling that gap that you need. You know, when you just need, some days you just need to do something creative, don't you? It's almost like a calling, I think, when you're a crafter. You really miss it when you don't do it. Even at weekends, I'm like, yeah, I might need to go and do some crafting. Mick's like, are you kidding me? You do it all week. I'm like, I know, but I like it. He's very patient, bless him. Right, let's have a go at this one now. Let's make some of these flowers up and then we can put them onto a project that we can give away. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to round that off a little bit again, just using my little scissors. Doesn't matter what size your scissors are, you'll get in there, they're fine. And just start to mould this flower. And by all means, have one, you know, picture of one at the side of you. So search it on a search engine, probably Google, and then Google it, as I would say. Google it, Nana. She doesn't say that anymore. She just goes on YouTube and finds out. Honestly, that girl, I tell you.
Your giveaway is ready.
My giveaway's ready. Type in Monday. We'll do a lovely little giveaway for you. Right, so I've now got the flower, but I want to add a little bit of shape into the base of that flower. So I'm just going to push in very gently with that tool and create that lovely little flower. You can see how it's all starting to come together now, can't you? Right, let's do one of the leaves, and then you can see how I would do this as well. So because we're not snipping into this, this is a slightly different process. So I'm going to hold this, and I'm going to hold it along the middle vein like that, okay, and just keep it nice and flat. And we're going to start at one end or one side and work along. So you can see that the actual transparency itself isn't going, well, it is touching the flame, but it's not touching it so that it melts. It's about 3 to 4 centimeters away. You can get a little bit closer when you get used to it. You can use a heat gun if you missed me saying that at the beginning. You can use a heat gun if you want to, but I would use a heat gun that you can leave on, because it molds, but only for a short time. You can remold it. So if I suddenly go, no, I don't like the side, I can remold it. And you can do that even a few months in. It doesn't matter. But if you can get it right first time, even better, right? So I'm going to just hold that down the middle. I'm just going to melt the middle. And then I'm going to hold my tweezers and I'm just going to lift that leaf up a little bit like that and just add a bit more form and shape to it. Isn't it lovely? You can see how quickly these really come together. Right, let's do one of these little moths and then we can start to build up a project, can't we? Which is super cool. Don't forget to type in Monday. I'm actually just going to get rid of that little antenna because you're not really going to see it anyway when it's moulded. So let's do the moth. Let's get these on here. Look at that, how fabulous is that? So we'll do these and then we'll build them up onto a project, because I've got quite a lot of other ones. I think I might do some of the coloured orchids as well, because they're lovely and they're in a couple of the bundles. Because they were such a popular one first time round, we bought in, I think we got 4 times more the stock than we got first time. You never know, do you, as a company, whether it's, you know, it's going to do well, whether it's not going to do well. I know that we love it, which is brilliant. And now we know that you love it as well. We can bring more and more of this in. Right, I'm going to bring in this little pot here. And I've already got, actually, let's do a few of the orchids first. I like this. I get time to do this. It's quite nice, isn't it? Bank holiday Monday, nice relaxing start to the day. Don't forget we've got, what else have we got? I've got Makeover Monday with David coming up next. I'm going to join him for the second hour of that, I think. Then we've got an outlet show, bank holiday. Bank holiday what? Bank holiday bonanza at 1 with me. And then we've got another bank holiday bonanza at 6 o'clock also with me. So I'm bringing you some goodies. I've just written out all my notes. So I know that we've got some good prices for you as well, which is great. So stay tuned if you can. If not, if you're going out for the day, take us with you. You can take us with you. We're mobile now. We can go. We can go anywhere you like. We can travel with you because you can still watch us on your phone or your tablet. Isn't that cool? Please don't watch us while you're driving though. We had a lady the other day, Hannah, watching us in the shower. Mrs. H999 watching us in the shower. She was. She said she'd made just a little circle in the steam so she could see her phone. And she was watching us while she was in the shower. Do you? Do you? Do you really?
Make a little window.
Do you? Are you in the shower that long?
Yeah, sometimes.
Are you? Yeah. Oh no, I'm in and out. Michael said to me, go and have a nice long soak in the bath. And I'm like, oh, that'd be lovely. I light some candles and then within 5 minutes I'm like, right, I'm bored now. I get really bored really quickly, and then I get up to nuisance. Right, so let's start to build this little project, shall we? So I'm going to bring in some of the other flowers that I've got in here as well, because these are beautiful. This is from your shop, Nigella. And these are absolutely gorgeous. So let's have a play around with some of these. I'm going to make a right mess now, aren't I? But who cares? It's Bank Holiday Monday. There's only a few of us in. It's great. Right, I'm going to take the lid off. And I'm going to put that somewhere safe because I know what I'm like. Right, let's have a look at some of these orchids as well, because these are lovely. And you can layer these up, and then I'll show you the film, and then I'll show you the gel as well. In fact, we'll do the gel now so it can be starting to go off. So I've got my little orchid. I actually want to double layer it because I think it'll look really quite cute. So I'm going to bring in my little glue gun and I'm just going to put a small amount of glue. Look how clear that glue is. There's nothing burnt on there whatsoever, and it's really annoying. And that smells not nice either, is it? When you've got burning glue, it's awful. But the colour's the worst thing for me because it goes that horrible yellowy, browny, yucky colour. Don't like it.
In the comments for our glue gun.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely, honestly, our glue gun is fabulous. Right, now then, somewhere, oh, I've had all my stuff on it. Of course I have. Honestly, I come in thinking I'm really organised, and I'm really not. But I do try really hard, if that counts. Right, what are you doing? Are you moving? Okay. Storage is gone. Right, I have got in here a little pot with my crystals in. Look at this. Oh, I found a little flower. How nice. So I've got a little pot with some crystals in, look. How cool is that? So I'm going to take my gel vitrification. It sounds like something out of Harry Potter, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Vitrify you. So all we need to do here is just squeeze that bottle gently, and you'll see it start to come out like that, and just let it drop in the middle, because you don't need a lot of this at all. Okay, so we'll put the middle bit in first, like that. So all you're going to do then is drop these little crystals into there. Like I say, you can colour them with your alcohol ink if you want, if you've got alcohol markers, or you've got alcohol ink in a bottle. That will be really cool as well. And then if you want to get a little bit more creative with it, you can go in with one of our glue applicators. Okay, so let's take our little applicators. These are perfect for this. I was tidying up. We all had to tidy up the other day because it was looking a bit messy. So I tidied up and I found all this stuff that I didn't know I had. I know. So I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to take a little bit of it out. And I'm just going to put an odd little drop just here and there on the petals. I'm going to take it down to the middle so it makes a bit more sense. I'm going to pick a little bit more up. Let's just go upside down. In fact, what I would normally do really is get this knocked down to the bottom. I don't know if we've got a bit of plastic in here or not. This'll do. This'll do. Let's put a little bit of this on here. There's always something. That's all you need. You need very, very little. That gel's going to last you a long time, but it does take it to a different dimension, if you like. So I'm going to put a little bit in there. I'm going to blend it in with the crystals that I've already done, and then I'm just going to pull it up, that stem, that petal rather, a little bit, just where that yellow is. I'm just going to follow that through like so, and then we'll just put a little bit onto there as well. So we're going in now. Let's add some of this on. And then we'll let this dry. And I would leave it for a good 2 to 3 hours. There's no point making something that beautiful and then just wasting it for the sake of a few minutes. So I'm going to leave that to one side, and then that will start to dry. Right, let me show you the, I'm just going to blow that out. This is my mum, this. There we go. That's it, done. Right, move that over there. Just be careful of that, Rachel, please. I don't want anybody burning themselves, especially not on my watch. Right, so let's do this sheet now because this is a different application. So what I've done is I have printed off some of the Micro Studio files. I think this was from the Yesterday Shabby Chic, I think. My favourites. I know, once I get a favourite, that's it. So let's move this out of the way and then we'll start to build a project. Right, so to do this bit, if you're working on the transparent sheet, which is completely clear, you're not going to print directly on here. That's not what these are made for. These are made to do, stick that under there for now, with your napkins or with your rice paper. So in Micro Studio I bought on all the different flowers, missed a bit, didn't put my margins on, should have put my margins on, lesson learnt. And then all I'm going to do is take this bottle, okay, so I'm going to knock the glue down to the bottom like that, and then I'm going to put a line of it right the way across here like that. That's it, okay, so you're going to get a lot out of these sheets. Then I'm going to take some cut and use foam, and I'm just going to pick up that glue and just get it into that sponge. Okay, so I would say leave this for about an hour. You'll be able to see because the streaks will disappear and the glue will go clear as well. So I'm just going to press this down now. when you're dragging this out, don't get it too thin that the rice paper doesn't have anything to stick to, but you don't want it too wet either because you don't want the rice paper to go a bit soggy. So we're just going to get a nice thin, even layer all the way around here like this. So I'm pressing that glue out of that sponge now. Don't be tempted to go and get more unless you really need it, because there'll be quite a bit still inside that sponge. Can you see? This is why I use this sponge now for retacking my scan and cut mats as well, because it honestly, the amount of glue that you get out of it when you're using this sponge is just quite remarkable.
I'm just asking, is there a right or wrong side of the bill?
No, there's no right or wrong side. It really doesn't matter which side you do it on, but that's a very good question. Right, I'm just going to put a little bit more on my sponge so that I'm not wasting it on the transparency, because I can wash the sponge afterwards. So a little bit more, that's all we're going to need, and just pop that onto there and just get that on there like so. And I reckon by the time I come back at 1 o'clock, this will be well and truly dried. I'm not coming back with this though. This is your only chance today to get Sospeso Trasparente. You should have seen us trying to say that. That was like the funniest thing, especially Amber. She had no hope. Now then, when you're working on the transparent one, you're going to put it so that your rice paper is facing down. And the reason for that is when you turn it over, you've then got the transparent, the shiny bit on the other side. So for this, we're going to use this side of the cut and use foam, and we're going to burnish this down properly like that. We're going to give it a really good press down. Now this glue is already starting to dry up here, so work a little bit faster. Obviously I'm talking to you while I'm doing this, but I'm just going to put a little bit more glue up there, and it'll be really obvious if you haven't got enough, because it'll just peel off. Okay, so it will be really obvious, but you can just lift it and get more in underneath. Right, let's press that down. Then using this side to flatten it down really helps, because it gets rid of any air bubbles and it just makes it nice and flat. And then when you turn that over and it's all dry, you're going to cut them out with a pair of scissors. Look at that, it's fab, isn't it? And this one, this project over here, which I'll bring over, is actually done in that same way. So you can see on the back of there, you've got rice paper on the back, but they still mould and shape, which is brilliant. So I don't know if I've got one already done or not. Let me have a quick look, quick rummage in my box. Look at this lot. You tell I had a lovely time, can't you? Oh, I have got one here, look. Let's cut one of these out and then I can show you the difference and how it heats, because it's really quite interesting. And I did try with lots and lots of different paper. Trust me, if a thin cheap copy of paper would have worked, I'd be telling you it would, but unfortunately, it doesn't. It's almost too stable, and you need something that's super, super fine, which is why they recommend napkins or rice paper. But I think, you know, as a highlight customer, you're so used to us bringing you downloads, and this is what I love about craft. You know, you can have all those downloads, and maybe you've used them for your micro studio, and then maybe you've used them with your scan and cut, and then maybe you've used them in your scrapbooking, and then maybe your, you know, all these different things that you can use them for, which is really cool, isn't it? And when you can add one more thing, and that one more thing makes everything else do something else, like your micro studio florals, now you can do it with your Sospeso Trasparente. You can't get any better than that. One product that makes all the other products sing and dance again, which is great, right? And don't forget, you can cut these out on your scan and cut. If you look back at last Tuesday's scan and cut shows, I showed you in every hour how to cut them. If we get chance tomorrow, we'll show you again, but we are doing paper piercing tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. But you will probably see quite a lot of these flowers popping up on samples as well, because it's just something lovely, isn't it? You know, the paper piercing you don't really want to take away from, but you want to enhance it, and something like this will absolutely do that. I'm so looking forward to doing those this afternoon. It's going to be lovely. Lovely bank holiday, even though we're in work, and your hobby's your job. I'm very blessed. Right, let's relight this tea light, and then I can show you how this one moulds, because it is slightly different, and then we'll put some of my existing flowers that I've already made on top of this, and we'll do that as a giveaway. How about that? That'll be nice, won't it? And I'll make it quite neutral so it goes with most people's homes. Right, so bringing back in my mat and my tools. because we need the tools. This I'm just going to wash in warm soapy water and then leave it to dry so you can use it over and over and over again. Right, so let's hold this firmly in the middle, and it will take a little bit longer. And you see how it's taken a little bit longer, and it also wants to curl in the opposite direction when you've got the rice paper on, because it's stabilizing it. Can you see how you've got to work it a little bit more, but it's still fabulous. So let me just get that nice and hot. There we go. And again, if you don't feel comfortable using a tea light, you can absolutely use a heat gun. Just make sure you've got one that you can leave on. It wants to curl in the opposite direction. It's fab, isn't it? And then you can literally just push it in. You can get quite firm with these. You know, they're certainly not flimsy by any stretch of the imagination. But I think jewellery with this, imagine you're making somebody a card, you put the flowers on the card, then you make a piece of jewellery to go with it. I know our lovely Carol Lewis last week had made everything for her best friend's birthday, the paper, the card, the bag, the gift. And her friend was just absolutely blown away by it. And that's one of the reasons why we craft, isn't it? We get the joy of being creative and doing that bit, but we also get the joy of giving it to somebody else. And then they get the joy of knowing that you've taken that time to make something for them. I think that's really special, really special. So let's get into this here. Let's get this one bent backwards like that. And then I'm going to take the larger ball tool, and I'm just going to push down slightly in the middle to start with. Okay, so I'm going to go on this side, and I'm going to push that in just down there like that. And then I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to pull that up slightly. So you can press on either side, but look how fabulous that looks. Isn't that cool? I'm just going to go in the middle again and just warm that up, and then that with some of the gel in would look amazing. How fantastic are they? And then you could take the smaller one and layer it up on top if you wanted to. But it's just a lot of fun, and it's super easy to do. You know, sometimes you just want to do something that you don't have to think about. This is one of those.
Question now. With the
Question.
white film, do you do the rice paper face down or face it up?
Face it up. Face up. If you put it down on the white, you're not going to see it. So on the white, it literally is a stabilizer to be able to then mold and shape it. But if you want the transparency, then the transparent one is good. But you're getting both in there anyway, so you can try both yourself. Right, let me get my little glue gun. If you haven't gone for this yet, honestly, it's the best thing. It's so good. I put my glue stick somewhere here. And a little tip for you: if you're putting another glue stick in, you know you have to keep pressing it to go forward. If you just put the nozzle on the end of a new one,
That's ingenious.
and then put it in there, and then stick that to that.
That's so clever. I'm so impressed.
Hannah's going, that's so clever. I'm like, okay. Isn't it funny how we're all creative here, but sometimes somebody just thinks something and you think, why did I not think of that? Don't you?
Yeah, 100%. That's amazing.
Really cool. Right, let's take a smaller one of the purple ones. Let's pop that in the middle, shall we? Let's make this really special because it's going out to one of you guys, which is lovely. So don't forget to type in Monday. I'll remember that code because it's the day. Until I get to this afternoon and go, what day are we on? Always throws me off on a bank holiday. Yesterday morning I got up super early to go to the skip because Mick had a load of deliveries for he's doing silversmithing, Hannah. Oh, there's gas bottles and all sorts in my kitchen now, honestly. Not just a drum kit anymore. I've got all sorts going on. Honestly, our house, you don't have to be mad to live there, but it really helps. Right, I'm going to put another one. And we're all as bad as each other, I have to say. So yeah, I went home to gas bottles and...
Nice.
Mm.
I'll look, see if I've got anything I can share with him. Got loads of silversmithing.
Yeah, absolutely. He's making my silver wedding anniversary present is what he's doing.
Oh, God love him. That's gorgeous.
I know. He can be lovely when he wants to be. Be a pain in the neck when he's not. Why do you think I work away from home? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm safe because I know he doesn't watch. Otherwise he'd be like, so what were you talking about? I took Bo for a really long walk in the fields yesterday. That dog has to stick his head in every single molehill that we come across. Right, so let's add some of these little leaves in here now just to add a little bit of texture and a little bit more green into there. But you can see how easy this is. And picking up bits and bobs like these little containers is super easy now, isn't it? They're everywhere. You know, you go into all your supermarkets, they've got a little home section, or you go, you know, out on the high street, if you've still got a high street, and there's stuff in there. But I'm just using that glue just to burnish it down. I've got a little bit of glue there where I don't want it, so I'm going to cover it up with that leaf. I need to wait for this glue to set a little bit more. So I'm just going to push it in with the ball tool itself. These tools are brilliant because you're safe knowing that they're wood, so they're not going to melt and they're not going to stick to the plastic either, which is always a good thing because you don't want that. Remember, David's coming up next with Makeover Monday for a couple of hours, so I will go and join him at some point in that show once I've got all my other jobs done. Got to go and set up the Scan and Cutting Academy to do my paper piece in today. Right, let's get that under there. Just pop a few of these little leaves here and there just to finish it off. And if you've got stringy bits like this, really quickly with a heat gun, but really quickly, because you've just moulded all these flowers. You don't want to demold them all, do you? Let's pop some of these. I don't like that leaf there. Actually, I'm taking that off. That's not. I'm not happy with that. Let's pop this one. Honestly, it's like I'm in my craft room talking to myself all the time, constantly talking to myself.
You've got a minute and a half.
A minute and a half. Is that all?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rude.
So draw a winner.
Yes, please. Draw a winner. We'll see who we're sending this to. It's going to... I'm just going to balance this out. Shirley Wilson. Oh, that's a new name.
Yeah.
Are you new to us, Shirley? If you are, welcome. I haven't seen your name very much before, so that's good. We like new people. Make yourselves known because our lovely highlighters are amazing and they'll make you feel very, very, very welcome, as will we. And we're just a little craft company that love what we do and do what we love. And I'm going to pop a little butterfly just on top of there, like that. Just nestled in on those flowers, and then I'll bring the base out again, and that will be our little giveaway. There you go. You can put your keys in there, you can add your sweeties in there, you could put some bath salts in there, you could fill it. I'll tell you what it would look lovely with, filled with a candle wax. That'd look fabulous. There you go. And we'll give that away. So, well done. Shirley? Hannah? Shirley. Well done, Shirley Wilson. Right, I'm going to see you, well, I'll probably see you with David in the next hour or so. And then I'll be back with a Bank Holiday Mayhem, where we've got some cracking deals for you at 1 o'clock. Thank you to my team. Thank you to you for watching. And don't forget to check those baskets out. See you in a bit.